Welcome back. In the last video, we looked at primitive types in C++. Today, we will learn control flow using if-else, switch, and loops. Before we start, make sure to like and subscribe. First up, if statements. They let us make decisions. Think of if-else like choosing your path in a game. If a condition is true, you go one way. If it's false, you go another. Here is the basic syntax. So if condition is true runs first block of code, if false runs second. Pretty simple, right? Let's see an example. We declared and initialized age to 18. Now we checking if age is greater or equal to 18. If yes, it prints you are adult. If not, prints you are not adult. It is really simple. Let's see another example. I declared and initialized as student to true. So we checking if user is student, here it is true, so it will print you are student. If we change to false, it will print not student. And you can see that I am not using curly braces because I have one statement inside it. If I want to have more than one, I must use curly braces, otherwise it will be error. But wait, sometimes you have more than two options. That's where else if comes in. There we cover positive, negative, and zero all in one. Quick tips. First, always use curly braces even for one line, it saves headaches. Second, conditions can be anything that evaluates to true or false, like comparisons or Boolean variables. Meet the switch statement in C++. It's like a menu, you pick one option and the program serves it. You start with the keyword switch, followed by parentheses with an expression inside, like a variable you want to check. Then you open curly braces. Inside, you write different cases. Each case checks if the expression equals a certain value. After each case, you put the code that should run, then a break statement to stop the switch. At the end, you can add a default section, which runs if none of the cases match. In this example, I declared and initialized integer type day to 3, then I am checking if expression day equals to 1, if yes, prints Monday, and then we type break. It need to break before check other cases, or it will print everything even it does not matches. Then checking if day is 2 and 3, and lastly, I type default keyword, which means if none of cases is matched, it will do default code. It is optional to type break after default. It cannot be any type of variable inside switch parentheses. There must be integer, character, short, long, enumeration, and unsigned versions of above. For strings, float, double, and Boolean, we must use if-else statements. Cases must match type of variable inside parentheses. Here is example of character. And for string, we can do like this. Next up, for loops. Think of a for loop as a way to tell your program to do this task multiple times automatically. A for loop is perfect when you know how many times you want to repeat something. In plain words, a for loop has three parts inside parentheses. Initialization, where you start your counter. Condition, how long the loop should keep running. Update, how the counter changes each time. This code prints numbers from 1 to 10. I is where you start counter. In this example, we start from 1. Then condition, how many times should our loop run, in this case 10 times, and lastly, update after each print. I increases 1 time. Of course, we can increase how many times we want, or decrease, or even multiply, it's your choice. If we have one line of code inside loop, we do not need to use curly braces, but if we have more than one line, we must use. Range-based for loop is loop that is perfect for arrays and vectors. It loops through array or vector automatically. Declaration is simple. First, we type keyword auto, which is the best, or type of vector or array, then we type name of loop variable, then colon, and then name of vector or array, in this example vec. A while loop repeats a block of code as long as the condition is true. Unlike a for loop, it doesn't care how many times, it just keeps running until the condition fails. Write while, then in parentheses put your condition. As long as that condition is true, the code inside the braces will run. The moment it becomes false, the loop stops. This prints numbers 1 through 5. Why? Because the loop keeps running while I equals 5. Once I becomes 6, the condition fails, and the loop ends. Careful though, if you forget to update your variable, you'll create an infinite loop, and your program will never stop. A for loop is like, do this 5 times. A while loop is like, keep doing this until pizza arrives. And that's the while loop great when you don't know exactly how many times something should repeat. Just give it a condition, and it keeps going until it's false. Alright, now let's talk about the do-while loop, the little sibling of the while loop, but with one special twist. A do-while loop is just like a while loop, except the code runs at least once even if the condition is false from the start. First, write do and put your code in curly braces. After that, write while with a condition. The loop runs once, then checks the condition and repeats if it's true. This prints numbers 1 through 5. Same as a normal while, but the guarantee is it always runs once. If I start with I equals 10, a normal while would skip the loop completely. A do while will still print 10 once before stopping. A while loop is like, check the fridge first, then eat if there's food. A do while loop is like, eat first, then check if there's more food. Okay, that was for today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you find this helpful.